Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. I'm Shekhar Gupta at Delhi's Habitat Center, and my guest this week, well, somebody who's been the toast of India for more than 2 decades now, and the toast of the young and the old, Vishwanathan Anand, world chess champion, so many times over. Welcome to Walk the Talk.
Thank you.
And such a privilege to have you on Walk the Talk for the second time. You know what's changed between the last time and now?
What?
You are an even bigger champion. I think the greatest champion India has known, and there's a long way to go still.
Thank you.
It's a great feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, this year has worked out well. Obviously, everything was riding on this World Championship for me, because I basically didn't play any other events this year.
Right.
And that's been very, very satisfying, of course. And well, you in fact wonder how the rest of the year is going to match up to that. I mean, that kind of excitement you can't replicate.
The word burnout has been thrown at you many times.
Mm-hmm.
Burnout, loss of motivation.
Yeah, I think though some of it was part of an agenda also, so it wasn't all just objective evaluations. But while I think that I'm certainly not going to pretend that I'm able to play every single event at 100%. I still think when something like the World Championship rolls along, I'm able to give it a lot of my energy, and I think it's too early to write me off.
Looked like a whole superpower power was against you. Russia, I mean, a chess superpower, not just a political superpower.
Well, it was mixed. I mean, it was really Kasparov, and doing it in such a pointed way. I mean, he would come to the press room and make statements that were designed to get them going.
Right.
And I think it was really him. For the rest, I got the sense that a lot of people there were rooting for Gelfand, but simply because he's a Muscovite himself. He studied there for a couple of years. He really has his roots there. So I didn't feel it was that personal against me.
I have a Kasparov Vishy story from a time when I did not know you, and I knew nothing about chess anyway. This was January of 1990, when the Soviet bloc was breaking down, and I had gone as a reporter to cover that breakup. And we found that the Armenians, Azerbaijanis, and Georgians were all protesting. They wanted to go away from what used to be called USSR. And Armenians told me that their spokesman was one Garry Kasparov. And I said, what Garry Kasparov? They said, the chess player. I said, can't be. So they took me inside what was then called the Armenian embassy, and I found Garry Kasparov. And he said, oh, you Indian journalist, India is a client state. You are a communist state without the benefits of communism, without even the benefits of communism. He was very contentious. So trying to get some self-respect back, I said, no, we have a very free press. We are a non-aligned country. And we have Vishwanathan Anand, who's a rising chess star. So he said, we know Anand. We've analyzed his game. We don't believe he's going to go much further. 1990.
Yeah.
So he's loved you for a long time.
Yeah, I would say that. It's had its good and bad moments, but I think basically the last few years we haven't hit it off that well, except for this one brief moment when he was helping me and so on. But obviously we've been rivals as well, so there's, I think, a certain amount of tension. I don't think he's someone who can separate his rivalry on and off the board.
Right.
So,
is it true of many chess players or not?
No, on the other hand, I would say many of my other colleagues I have splendid relationships with. Kramnik, right after the match, a few months later, we accidentally met in the gym in Monaco. And we just started talking. I asked him about his newly born daughter then. And we kind of hit it off, and that's it. And we've been very, very close, even though we'd played a match which must have left some emotional scars. But we became very, very close friends. And now I think of him as one of my warmest buddies. The same with Gelfand, even. Right after the match,
did you discuss parenting since you are a new parent?
Subsequently, yes, but this was 3 years ago.
Right.
His daughter is 3 years old now. And then recently, of course, he keeps on asking me for photos of Akil.
Yours is about 15 months.
Yeah. And he keeps asking me for photos of Akil and everything, so I have to keep sending that to him. And like that, I would say with most of my colleagues, we have this ability to say, well, the rivalry is there, but in the evening we should still be able to go out for a drink or something, but not with Garry.
A drink with Vishwanathan Anand is more likely to be buttermilk.
Yes, or or a cocktail without a lot of alcohol, that kind of stuff. But
Right. But the stereotype is that because chess is played so much in the mind, right, that chess players are more likely to carry the tensions of the playground, which is the chessboard, to their beds than, say, cricketers or footballers. Because there it's physical, it's over, tomorrow is another game.
I think that is a stereotype. I was once speaking to Srikanth actually, and he said he had the same problem. Is when he went back,
Srikanth as in our,
Krishnamacharya.
I do this because that was his trademark shot.
Yeah. We had this conversation maybe 25 years back in Sharjah when they were having this series, and he told me he kept the bad shots he replayed in his head over and over and over, and he also had to find a way to disconnect. And so I think the struggle is the same. How do you leave it behind?
He used to chant Sanskrit shlokas, I believe.
Yeah, stuff like that. But the basic problem, and I think it's for everyone, is how do you leave a painful thing behind and move on to the next
How do you
point
do
or the
that?
next
Are you
day.
spiritual? Do you remember God? Do you chant something? How do you do it?
I am spiritual. I do pray to God and so on. And I think with disappointing games, you just have to find some way to rationalize it in your head. Come up with any old story. It makes you happy. You try to put it behind and you move on.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for Retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.